With regards to this week's question, Undead from Cleveland, how about changing it to We Love Katamari Damacy? No, okay, here's the real one. From the Gaming Citadel. Sounds Lord of the Ring-ish. Citadel. I like it. Darth, that's cool, man, but you didn't include your address.
You don't win shit.
We have a rule that you have to include your address.
A real Dark Knight would remember these things.
You don't.
He lives in the Sith temple over the hill.
You're agonizers, sir.
Agonizer.
Oh, it's gone. Dude, if you had to go to work and they had agonizers attached to you, believe me, the fucking around would come to an immediate end. Boss would go up, you're agonizer, Mr. Baird. What? No. They even had an agonizer chamber. That was fucked up.
All right, man. This one's from Marty G. from Trabuco Canyon, California. I was just wondering if you guys have played Half-Life 2. That game has been freaking addicting for me. What's more fun than blowing a bunch of crap from zombies to chairs with big guns? Your show rocks. Keep up the good work. And you know how the song goes. Cleveland rocks. We talked about Half-Life 2 on a previous broadcast. You're always welcome to check out our previous broadcast at www.bgnradio.com. You just click on the download section. You can download them all. The reason they're not included in the RSS feed if you listen to us on podcasting is because it would be murderous on the amount of bandwidth that our server would provide. Because instead of downloading one 10-megabyte file, you'd be downloading 10 10-megabyte files. And, I mean, our provider would shut us down. We're working on introducing a BitTorrent feed in the future, but I don't know. I haven't gotten around to doing it. I'm just lazy. This one is from Endo500 from Alexandria, Virginia.
I'm not saying anything.
He says, what up, guys? I'm not one to kiss ass, but I have to admit your show is pretty fucking hilarious. I like the info you guys give, but my favorite part of your show is your random commentary on whatever is on your mind. I have recently started listening to the show, and I'm now going back through the archives to listen to your old shows. I have this question to ask. Did you guys get beat up a lot in high school?
Yes.
You were always talking on the show about people getting beat up or hit in the back of the head and then having their portable system jacked. Is this based on some past childhood events?
Oh, yeah. Daily.
No, man. My brother's kidding.
I didn't get beat up. I got picked on, but then I throw basketballs at people's heads.
Yeah,
and try to run them over with my car.
Before high school, I had 3 older brothers and 3 sisters.
No, you have 1 older brother and 2 stepbrothers.
Yeah, whatever. And 3 stepsisters who were the most popular girls in school. So not only would you be a dick for beating me up, but you'd probably also get your ass kicked. But it never happened. I mean, I don't know. And then
metal,
and then in high school, yeah, I'm 6'4". I mean, what are you thinking?
Yeah.
I was the last of the metalheads, so everybody picked on me.
I did see Don try to drive over somebody once. Actually, I saw him try to drive over like a whole bunch of kids. So, yeah.
Punch me.
And Brian's been in more fights than probably he should have been allowed to be in.
And I usually lost all of them, too.
Yeah. And when the ambulances were called, they were for him.
Yeah. I've literally seen, like, the guy with, 10 guys around him just punching him in the head as he went down onto the ground. So,
I fought back.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I don't remember it, that's all.
That's what I'm saying.
The next day, I had to talk to Oz. I'm like, dude, what happened? Did I, to just stand there like a punching bag? What the fuck? I mean, look at him, I'm a mess.
No, you tried to
karate and stuff.
You literally tried to put somebody's face into your knee. It was pretty funny.
Did I?
Yeah.
Dude, I was fucking wasted. I don't remember.
Anyway.
I woke up the next day with another fucking beat up face. I'm like, oh, man.
None of us would be considered geeks in high school, I guess. Brian was.
I was in band.
Brian was in band.
I was in marching band. I was a band track.
But that's not necessarily a geek.
It is.
All right, whatever. Fine, it is. Brian was a total geek.
So.
All right. Anyway, and he says, "Have you guys ever thought about allowing listeners to guest appear on the show? Since it sounds like you guys all just call in and have a conference call for the show, it wouldn't be hard to add other people. I would love to call in and maybe do this week in Guild Wars." And to answer this week's question, you guys should say in God mode before each episode. Peace out.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. The acoustics of having more than what we have isn't very good. Even when we use the voice conferencing system from AT&T, it's not quite good. We're using 3-way calling right now, and it seems to be the only thing that really works. Now, if Don or Brian were to be absent for a week, I wouldn't mind bringing in a guest on the show at that point. But the problem is that in most cases they tell me like an hour before they're not going to be on the show, you know. And then there's no way for me to like, you know.
I'm never going to hear the end of it.
Hey, dude, I forgot, but
That's because I'm trying to fight to stay on.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's just like, all right, fine, I give up.
Yeah.
I'll call them and cancel.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry. We gotta do the show over because the audio's fucked up.
But it's always possible. If you want to be a guest on the show, you should just send me an email, and you'd have to be available on a Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is also a big killer for a lot of people because they want to watch.
That doesn't mean everybody write in saying you want to be on the air because odds are good you won't be.
Yeah, Desperate Housewives.
Organizing this shit will probably take like 6 months.
There's been a post on our forums forever about asking if anybody wants to guest on the show, but most people haven't answered.
Yeah, have something to talk about. That's a good thing, number one.
Yeah. Anyway, this one's from Trent Pickens from St. Louis Park, Minnesota. He says, hey guys, instead of having Undead from Cleveland at the beginning of your show, how about something like creeping from the Cleveland underworld or storming the Cleveland game scene? Well, there is no Cleveland game scene.
Yeah.
These seem okay. Maybe with a little tweaking they would work. I really don't think you need to change it, though. It has become sort of a trademark for your show. Instead of being undead, you could just simply be live, I suppose. Well, that's...
we're not.
Yeah. The way I see it, yeah, that's why we said it. And Dead from Cleveland doesn't quite work either. The way I see it is if it ain't broke, don't change the opening of your show. What really matters is that you guys produce a great video game show that I love. What I would definitely change is for me to win one of the contests. I'm disappointed every week. Usually my odds of winning are something like 1 in 6 or 7. Statistically, I should have won by now. I guess I'm sort of statistic anomaly. Thanks for the show and don't change a thing. I tell you what, Trent, I'm going to give you a free game. I'm going to give you Time Splitters Future Perfect for the PlayStation 2. All right? So there, you won.
Woo!
If you already have it, you're screwed, but I'm going to mail that out to you when I mail out everything else. So now you won, and if everybody else, if you think you're going to write in and complain that you haven't won anything, it's not going to work.
It will. He's a softy.
One-time shot.
But there you go, Trent. Thanks for being a fan for the show and writing in every week. Now you get a free game. This one is too long, and the guy's anonymous, but... Oh, actually, he said he's anonymous, but his name appears in the address bar, but I'm not going to read it because he wants it to remain anonymous. And he says, I was listening to the show and you guys were wondering about the PS2 selling so much, and I've got to tell you from working at a game store, which will be anonymous because I would get in trouble if I told you. I mean, really, dude, who cares if you get fired from EB Games, you know?
Right.
Move on with your life. You haven't hit the mecca of your career yet. When it first released 6 months after, we started getting at least 6 calls a day about the system not working, which makes it no surprise at all to see people rebuying the system to keep playing their games and keeping Sony in business. People have to wake up and stop buying shit and just living with it. They did the same thing with the first system, the PlayStation, and then they went on to release the PS1, a redesigned system right before the PS2 that was much better and less apt to break down, and people forgot how shitty the PlayStation was and got super psyched to get the PS2. Anderson, you went through a bunch of PlayStations, didn't you?
I went through a couple of them. The optic sensors were always...
You had that one that you had to play if it was upside down.
Yep, you had to put it upside down. And then that was the one that I sent back to Sony and paid $80 to have them fix it for me. And then like a year later, I had to end up flipping it over just to play it.
Yeah.
Not the controller of the game.
Sony does make some pretty crappy hardware. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, they design stuff so it's nice in design, but the reliability is crappy. Again, they do it with the PS2 with the redesign, trying to fix the shit that went wrong with the old model on, in example, disk drawer, making it into a flip top, and the overheating by putting the power supply outside the box, which sets up for another crap fest with the PS3. I'm having a wait-and-see attitude with the next one because unlike the sheep around me who buy anything set in front of them, I remember history and will not repeat it. Yeah, plus, you work at the game, so you can just put one in your bag on your way out the door. Who shut off the alarm? I don't know. You know, I don't know. I'm leaving. Have a good night.
My bad.
A funny side note, I have a friend who fixes the PS2s that have gone to shit, and he's seen all the models from the inside and going from old to new. Sony has made it easier with each new model to open and fix which goes to show that the people at Sony that fix these systems, when pissed off customers send them in, have probably made requests to get them easier to get the problems that need to be fixed. 2 funny jackasses. Answer to question, open with 2.5 men. Which one of us is the half guy? That's what I want.
That'll be me.
Thanks for the email. Sorry you had to remain anonymous and you didn't want to win a game, but if you want to do that, you can just send in your address and just say, please do not say my name on the air, and I will respect that. But I will still say what city you're from.
It will come find you.
Because I want to. This one is from Barry Gibb, and he says, "No shit, blame my mother, London." That's funny,
Hey,
Barry.
your mother's more than a woman.
He says, "Hey guys, I'm another new listener via the iTunes podcasting service. Really love what you do, games, news, and swearing. Fucking great. There are still some poor, misguided people out there who think games are for kids. Yeah, well, maybe. But they're also used for some really cool shit, too. Have you heard of virtual pain therapy? In Washington, these guys are finding," I don't know, that got all screwed up. There's like an equal sign and a period in the middle of the word, "that by getting burn victims to shove on a VR helmet and play Snowland, shooting snowballs at snowmen, I guess cold is the thing, that the patient's pain is reduced more effectively than morphine. How cool is that? I could explain why, but you like the email short, right? I'm a scientist who's totally into games, so find this stuff interesting. If you like this sort of stuff for the show, I can always send more. Take it easy."